Dubey, there's a good story about that, So press conference mein Dhoni se they were asking about Dubey, and he's like, we had earmarked him for a role, but then we changed that role. So turns out, so this is one of the funny things which Dhoni does. Right? He's too honest and
Hmm.
too like, and he has a brain. So he clearly said that Dubey can't play fast bowling so well, and hence he cannot be a finisher. So we thought we'll put him in the middle order. As soon as the spinners come, we'll send him because of his reach and levers. He can tong them for
Right.
sixes, and that's what he's doing.
Hello, all, and welcome to the Third Man Musings. This is our part 2 of the midway review of the IPL. In the previous video, which was part 1, we have covered 4 teams and including the Kohli versus Gambhir incident. So, if you're not watched it, please go back and watch that. Today, in the part 2 video, we'll be covering the rest of the 6 teams, as we go towards the playoff stage. So, Sumit, which team is it up front out of those 6 teams now?
Let's start with my team, Mumbai Indians. So, because they are doing well after the initial slow start as usual. So, they're finding their bearings. And again, like we discussed, right, the strongest batting lineup there. So, they're playing with half the batsmen, and they have a reverse RCB problem, right? RCB has three people playing at top, and Mumbai Indians have three, four people playing in the middle. Their top order doesn't play. So, it's a different kind of problem. So, the best news for like Mumbai Indians and Indian cricket is Surya is back. So it's the old
Yeah.
Surya again with his flicks and scoops and playing all over the field and the bowler's mind. So brilliant innings and those chases that he's won them. So he's back. Tim David looks good to go, like the next Pollard for the next 10 years with his finisher role. And I think he's more potent, because the way he hits those low full tosses for sixes is very difficult. And that then actually leaves you nothing except a perfect Yorker or him mistiming something for once.
Right.
And Tilak Verma has always been my favorite since last season when he just burst onto the scene. This season he's playing. Initially he played in the top order. Now he's playing a finisher role with Tim. So three very good, potent batsmen at 4, 5, 6, and you have three. Green still a bit iffy. I mean, he comes, he does his job, then he gets out.
Inconsistent, right? Sometimes
Yeah,
he does.
not doing that finishing touch is missing, which he needs to open for that, which he's not getting a chance due to reasons we discuss. So that's the problem. That 4, 5, 6 is as solid as anything. So very happy with that. And bowling wise, same issues persist. I think they still don't have the bowling quality, but
Right.
the best bowler is Piyush Chawla, which says something. And Karthikeya, like we discussed initially, right, that the misty element might help him being a left armer. So he's doing a job. So those two have formed a combination of sorts. Um, so yeah, anything else you can
Yeah.
find positive in this?
If you remember, Sumit, the old Mumbai Indians teams of the past, which did really well, their
Mm.
overseas pacer used to be really good,
Two.
right? Whether it be
Yes.
McLennan or Bolt in their prime, right? Now
Yeah, yeah,
here
yeah.
they have Archer and Berendoff. Berendoff is nowadays not playing.
Mm.
The couple of chances he got also he couldn't do that well. Archer is getting hit even after coming back from injury. In the
Mm.
previous game, he was hit for 56 or
50
4
odd.
overs.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is really hampering them. Their bowling is looking weak, apart from those overs from Karthikeya and Piyush Chawla,
Traveler.
right? Now, hopefully, Akash Madwal, and you have told me that he's been really
It
impressive.
just
So
came last match. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So so hopefully they'll have to bank on him. But that's what they always have to bank on chasing, because if they have to set a target and then defend it, this bowling lineup can get a bit exposed.
So yeah, Madhwal is the answer. And what Madhwal does is give them an option to play an extra batter for because he's now going to be the designated death bowler. And I think he it was trial by fire when Livingston and Jitesh were hitting every ball out of the park and Archer was murdered. This guy still stood up in the last over, gave 7 or 8 runs, I remember. And the best part was bowling those wide Yorkers and putting them in the right slot. So he will be given a go. And Mumbai has this thing for getting uncapped talent and finding the best of them somehow. So I trust them to find them. So that has opened up a fourth slot for them in the overseas thing. I would have preferred to play Brevis, but the problem is Brevis is a top three player again. So again, we'll get back to we need to drop a particular person who can never be dropped, sadly. But Brevis would have been a better fit. But I think they might go with Stubbs later as he's a finisher, and they can then pad up the batting even further till 7 with David and Stubbs coming in the end. So that's one thing. Now let's address the elephant in the room. And
Yes.
no disrespect to Rohit and his fitness, just way of saying that, yeah, it's just scary to see the way he's batting, and I don't know what's the problem. Uh, he's getting out. He got out to Sandeep Sharma. He missed a knuckle ball and got bowled. He got out to Rishi Dhawan. So these are not even proper bowlers. Actually, no disrespect to them, but you don't
Yeah,
expect Rohit
not
Sharma to get.
international level bowlers. Yeah.
Yeah. So and the way he's getting out is the shocking part, right? So um, Ishan Kishan is inconsistent. So when he gets going, I think he's done two very good innings in this IPL. But other than that, even he has not been in form. So he's getting the longer run. But the openers are very important in any T20 tournament, and they are not giving the starts to their very strong middle order, which can break any attack. So I don't know what is the future for Rohit from like Mumbai Indians and Indian team context. Because WTC is also coming, so it's scary to see him bat like this in IPL.
Mm.
And
Maybe a
he
break would do him good, right? I mean,
uh,
sometimes you've got to leave that ego aside. Now, obviously, he's been one
mm,
of the great batsmen for India in this generation, right? After
mm,
Kohli, it's definitely Rohit at number two.
yeah,
But sometimes, for the greater good of the team and to clear one's own mind space, maybe
and
take a break for a couple of games.
yes, Kohli did it. He didn't touch a bat for 6 weeks, he says, right? And
Right,
that's since he's been back, he's been old Kohli. So
right,
yeah, unfortunately for him, uh, Ambani might give a call if he does that. So I don't think it's happening this IPL. WTC will happen, and then I think maybe he gets a break. He needs one. I mean, just to work a bit more on the fitness and get some sort of rhythm. It's very hard to see him, struggle so much. He's a very beautiful player to watch, very elegant. And after Kohli, he was supposed to be the big one, right? So he's just not giving anything to the team. And we discussed this. The IPL record is really bad. The last 4 5 seasons, he's not done anything. He's averaging in the 20s. Strike rate is also 120, 130 ish. So not at all IPL standard even. So if it was somebody else, he would have been long gone. But it's Rohit
right.
Sharma, so it's a brand value. So let's hope he gets into some sort of gear as Mumbai inches closer to the knockouts because he is the missing piece right now. If for me, but the bowling I think is doing as much as it can with the talent they have nobody honestly. So let's see how they go. We got chances for them top four.
Uh, I would say,
Uh,
I mean, the batting quality, right? That is still
mm,
mighty impressive. So, if they have to, a lot of things have to work in their favor. One is the batting still needs to, continue to dominate. And then, obviously, the toss factor as well. They need to continue to chase.
chase
Uh,
every match.
yeah, and the legacy of Mumbai, right? I think that
Mm,
also plays a part. Now, even in international cricket, you see, even if there is an Australian team which is not as strong as before, they have that aura because they are
yeah,
Australia.
yeah.
Similarly, in IPL, MI and CSK have that sort of aura that they can, somehow make it through, scrape it through, even if when they're not doing
Mm,
well.
playing well.
So, they can, but again, a lot of things need to come together. Your thoughts, being a
Same,
MI
same.
supporter?
So it's 10 and 9. So 5 games are remaining. If they chase in 4 games out of five out of that, they'll go through. I can guess on. I'll bank on that because batting first, I don't have any faith in them because the bowlers are very difficult. Or this Madhwal guy just starts shining out of sudden, and Archer gets some sort of rhythm. Then you might have four good bowlers bowling. So yeah, very iffy, toss dependent. So next one, I think a surprise for both of us is SRH. So on the looks of it in a preview and the way the team was, coming together once Makram joined the team, looked good. But somewhere it all fell off the cliff. And the scariest part is they're on par with DC in terms of points and number of games. So that tells you something really went horribly wrong, despite
Right.
this being a very, very potent 11. It was covering all the bases required. So I think we'll just discuss the positives because they are very brief. Klassen, very surprising to
Yeah.
see him bat so well, such clean hitting. So I've never seen him bat so well ever. This is like the new version of him. And the bowling is still very handy. Like Bhuvneshwar is doing a decent job. Natarajan is doing a job. Mayank Markande, as we discussed, he was going to be a backup to Rashid. And he's done way more than expected. So he's like a bonus player for you. So cheap. And he's giving you the liberty to play a foreigner also.
True.
So the bowling is still very good. Coming to the issues, I think batting. I think the big bold letters batting. That's the major issue because they invested in the batting. So many crores in the auction. Nothing has worked for them, right?
Right. Brooke, Agarwal,
Wha-
Tripathi. Big three. Like they were supposed to
Three.
be the holy trinity, so as to say, for SRH
All
this season, right? And they've just, I mean, at least we had thought. I remember when we spoke in one of our last videos, Brooks 100 was supposed to be the turning point for his
the start
IPL
of it.
career. But again,
Yeah.
it's just gone off the cliff, right? I mean, very surprising. And now he's gone back to the middle order, but there again he's struggling. The pitches are tired, right? The pitches are
Mm,
now it's May, it's peak summer in India, even now, now you might see a stage where 150, 160 totals might become very iffy while chasing, right? So he's struggling. And maybe get in a Glenn Phillips now. I don't know, maybe just
And
try
there's
to
a
change
break.
things up a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. And Mayank also, because he was the only coveted Indian batter who everybody wanted. He's again not done so well, and he's opening, and sadly he's an opener only, so he can't bat anywhere else, and has is a
Right.
single skill cricketer. Tripathi is a surprise for me because he generally does well in every IPL. So he has been very off this season, and it's hampering his T20 chances for World Cup, sadly. So that is also a problem. So the batting, as you said, Markram has played decently, but not at that rate which you would expect. So the batting
Right.
has really fallen off the cliff, and that is why they are where they are. Because the bowling never, bowling is good. They keep getting these new people, and they do a job. I think Umran Malik is the exception. He's not done well. He
Yeah.
got carted around in a lot of matches and finally got dropped also. So I think Sundar, that injury is a big thing because that is like a
Yeah.
double skill
And he
cricketer,
was
right? Can't do
contributing
one.
in both, right? Batting and bowling. So even if SRH was struggling with the bat, we have seen recently he's doing really well with the bat for India. So
Yeah,
at least
yeah,
they could have used him like a floater and tried to, like, if they had lost wickets early up front, he has a good technique also. And then if needed to propel the momentum in last 5 overs, they could have used him. That's also a big blow. So a lot of things are not working out for SRH right now.
yeah. Just like a, I think they can try more. It's 6 and 9. Seems tough again, but mm, it's a rite of season for me. I'll be honest, but it's they have something to work with. Just build on that, and hopefully, Brook is still very young. I think the problem is he's made all his runs in Pakistan, so people don't really understand the roads that are produced there. And then yeah, the joke is that Brook did call Babar and said कि कहाँ खिलाया मुझे इतने सालों से मतलब all his runs are in Pakistan, right? PSL, one day, test matches. He like एशियन कंडीशंस थी मुझे तो एक ही जैसा लगा एंड बाबर वाज आल्सो लाइक हाँ हाँ इंडिया में भी बनेंगे रन बट it's a different ball game between what Indian pitches are and what and the pressure obviously and the
True.
level and standard everything. So Brook had a reality check. He's a quality cricketer, and I think one more season, I
Yeah.
hope he gets another
He'll
go
make a comeback for sure. Yeah.
and come
Yeah.
back. So SRH, yeah, I hope they just play spoilers again going forward and they figure out the 11 by the time the tournament gets over because they had the base to do very well. But okay, sometimes it doesn't work out. And again, there are 10 teams, right? And only four
Right.
spots. So somebody is going to be off the boil. It's a very normal phenomenon in IPL.
Yeah.
So that's why.
One last point, Sumit, for SRH with the pitches tiring, maybe bring in Rashid, but then Jansen is doing really well, right? So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
drop, Jansen and bring in Rashid because
Yeah.
he's a quality spinner in, dusty wickets. So
Yeah, that's why missing Sundar also, right? That another spinner would have come with Markande and
true,
Abhishek
true.
just a bit here and there. So difficult to get Jansen and Rashid both because then Markram again, foreign captain, another
Can't.
issue. Not like
Yeah.
I would drop him. And Klassen you can't touch. He's playing too
Correct.
well. Brooks
Correct.
is playing for a price tag. I think they need to let go of that.
Hmm.
Just let it be.
Yeah.
Let him take a break for 2 games, then probably get him back again with a
Correct.
new frame of mind. And on a good batting pitch, I think that's important. There's still some good batting pitches left. Lucknow is not one of them. KKR is not one of them. I'm still remembering whether Bankade is obviously a good one. Hope they have a match in Bankade. You can try there. So
They
yeah,
have one in the Chinnaswamy still left, I think.
that's
So
good.
what is
That'll be fun.
yeah, they have one game against RCB. I'm not sure of the venue. It's probably
So
Chinnaswamy.
RCB comes back
Yeah.
home in the last
Yeah.
leg is what
Oh no,
RCB is.
they have it against Gujarat.
Uh,
So no,
uh,
it's at Hyderabad itself. Hyderabad also runs are hard to come by, right now.
yes, that's what. Majority of the pitches
Yeah.
are done actually. But the good
Yeah.
thing is what I've read is for the qualifiers and eliminator, they have just kept aside some pitches
Fresh
which they're
pitches,
not playing.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you won't have such bad matches hopefully then.
Yeah.
So coming to bad pitches, to a team which traditionally used to thrive on those, but they have better pitches this season is CSK. So they again typical Dhoni team, and they are on a losing streak, 3 match losing streak. And the funny part was I was thinking, what is the problem they're facing? I could not find many. They're still doing very well as per me. It's just that they're just losing. Like CSK loses close games, something doesn't work out. So I cannot pinpoint. Can you pinpoint Sujay where the problem is in this team?
No glaring problems, as you said, right?
Yeah.
But again, maybe if I had to be critical and point one area, it's still the bowling, right? I mean, you
Mm,
saw the Punjab game also where Punjab chased down their total. The batting is really good, right? Everybody is in
yeah.
form and doing really well. Conway and Ruturaj are
Rutu.
intimidating up front, right? And even Dubey and
Well,
Moeen Ali, Dhoni is coming in for 5-6 balls and creaming sixes. That batting is intimidating. The bowling, Jaddu is doing well, but maybe. I think getting Santner back for Tikshana will help because I know where Dhoni comes from. He wants that mystery spin angle,
mm,
but Tikshana hasn't, set the
done it
stage on
much.
fire this year. Last year he was
Correct.
really good, but this time he has not done it. Maybe getting Santner back and Tushar Deshpande, he'll get wickets, but then he'll give runs
Runs.
also. So that is something you have to live with. Hungrekar, I think we both were
What
surprised
happened?
that he's not even
Something's
figuring
up.
in the impact player list now. So very
Put a very
surprised.
decent last match. I don't know what happened between him and Dhoni, but unfortunately, that's how Dhoni works. So I know he's not playing anymore in IPL unless some injuries happen. But he has clearly earmarked Deshpande. He did actually win one game, I think, but he's very unreliable. But he's making him like he did with Mukesh Chaudhary last season. So that's Dhoni psychology, which we don't understand. He found Pathirana,
Yeah,
Malinga lookalike, who was good, and he is doing the job. I think he's creating him also like a future Malinga who's giving him those 2 overs at the death every time, and he's
right.
responding. He bowled very well in those
Won them
tight
the game
overs.
against RCB, I remember. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And even the Punjab game where he
yeah,
had to defend 9 runs and it all went in singles and doubles. Nobody would hit a boundary of him. So good signs there. Cheher is back. So hopefully he gets his fitness back and you have somebody who can bat at 8 and provide that bit of solidity with and the new ball because he's an upgrade on Akash Singh any day.
right.
So that's good. So CSK again, weakness is tough to find, yet they are on a losing streak. One of those strange things to understand. Dube is a good story about that, So press conference में Dhoni se they were asking about Dube and he's like, we had earmarked him for a role, but then we changed that role. So turns out, so this is one of the funny things that Dhoni does. Right? He's too honest and
Mm,
too like, and he has a brain. So he clearly said that Dube can't play fast bowling so well, and hence he cannot be a finisher. So we thought we'll put him in the middle order. As soon as the spinners come, we'll send him because of his reach and levers. He can tong them for
right.
sixes, and that's what he's doing. So whenever you notice now Dubey batting, he's coming at 3 and 4 for that reason. And we used to think, right, too high a number for him. But then after the statement, I remembered how RCB used him, Rajasthan used him. They all used him as finishers in a way, and that's why he
Correct.
failed because he
Correct.
didn't play. So again, that's where I
Dhoni's
think
tactical acumen. Yeah.
yeah, still the best captain in the world or the
Yeah.
country. I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah.
still up there because
Yeah.
he could see a glaring weakness. The only sad part is he just spoke out to the world that this guy can't play pace bowling, so that's not good. But that's the logic behind getting Dube in. So yeah,
Mm.
I'm confident they'll
Still
still
a
scrape
still a
through.
sure shot for the playoffs. Yeah.
Yeah, sure, sure. I mean, yeah, I mean they really have to keep. I mean, when the time comes, I think he'll still put on some match performance, and they'll get a win. And yeah, Jadeja needs to change his batting number. I think that's one more point. The poor guy is getting like he must be wondering, "क्या करूं मैं?" जब भी out होता है, it's like everybody's happier, and they're like
Yeah.
celebrating his wicket. So it's not a good feeling. And I think, yeah, that's what I think uh, Indian test team used to feel whenever the second wicket used to fall.
Yeah.
Luckily, it wasn't Dravid most days. It was the
Yeah.
opener because Dravid used to stay there, and the
Yeah.
Dravid would have had to face this sad part,
Yeah.
reception.
Yeah.
So, okay, so I think yeah, even I agree. CSK is good. I think
Yeah.
they'll just pull through.
Today's
Clean
afternoon
sweep.
game against MI will be
Oh
crucial.
yeah,
If they win that, then they'll reach to 13 points out of
11.
11 games, and then they'll need to win two out of the last three.
Mm.
But if they
Yeah, yeah.
lose that, then
Then yeah,
situation
they'll really
becomes
come
dicey.
crashing. No, no,
Yeah.
Mumbai will I think come to 2 or 3.
Yeah, come to
Yeah,
two.
yeah. Okay. So jumping to the next team, which like we discussed about Aura, right, of MI and CSK. I think the next team now that comes to my mind is Gujarat Titans.
Mm.
We thought about it, we discussed there is no weakness in this team. And the one weakness that we discussed last time was Pandya not scoring runs. So yesterday he murdered Rajasthan Royal spinners. He got 40 of 18 or 17 balls or something and killed the game at 12, 13 overs. So there's nothing in this team, honestly. And I'll just I'll do a reverse analysis of this team. Okay. So they have lost 3 matches this season. One was due to Rinku Singh. on the last over freak show.
Yeah.
One was against Ishant Sharma, where the Pandya could not get him get a boundary, and Tewate for once failed after creaming Nokia for 3 sixes. He could not hit Ishant Sharma, which will be a mystery for me. So they could not chase down 12 runs in the last over. Again, a miracle. And the third defeat was against Rajasthan Royals, where Samson and Hitmaya played out of the skins. They, I think, had 60 odd of 28, 29 balls and chased down 177 in that game. So three losses, and in no game, I would say Gujarat Titans were out of it. They should have won at least two of those three easily, which means like the Rinku one and the Ishant Sharma one, and they would have been way ahead of everybody else. So this team's weakness comes from this only. These three defeats also show them how far they are in quality and how nobody is really near them. So yeah, Sujay, anything you
Yeah.
could find in them?
No, not at all. And now they have become even more potent
More
with this
potent.
Rashid Noor combination, right? I
Yes,
mean,
kid.
a strong team has just got stronger, right? Gil
Yeah,
Sahai are still doing very well up front.
yeah,
That
yeah,
middle order 4 to 7 is impeccable. And now they
yeah.
have this bowling combination also. Joshua Little also, I think we were discussing, has now come up the curve, right? So I don't know. They just look impenetrable right now, and top two is easy for them.
Easy.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
goes without
I've no
saying.
doubt.
It's just that,
Mm.
can they repeat the feat of last time?
Last year.
Again,
Uh,
make it through the final and win that final. Somebody has to play really, really out of their
like
skin to
these. Yeah,
to
yeah.
eliminate them. They're looking really good. All bases covered.
Yeah, exactly. And this Noor Ahmad, I think we had not predicted. We kept talking about uh, Alzari Joseph and Little combination, but yeah, they had a Trump ace up their sleeves. So Noor Ahmad is like a mini Rashid. He's learning from Rashid. He considers him as like big brother. And now with Noor, the thing is, normally teams used to, try to ration
Play out
Rashid's
Rashid,
overs.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, even the bowling team used to think, okay, पहले bowl करूँ, बाद में करूँ, बीच में करूँ. They were confused because those 4 overs were like gold dust. Now with Noor, he normally comes after 10 overs, so you can actually bowl Rashid in the first 10. And the roles are so well defined, right? Shami starts with the length ball, like Nehraji loves it, right? Length pe dalo, length pe dalo. The test match length he bowls, and nobody has been able to play him. So he gets 3 overs out of him. Panda bowls his two. Then you get your Rashid. Then Noor comes in, and then they found Mohit Sharma. So in a very weird way, what Rinku Singh did created Mohit Sharma. And now he's giving them, and he's in a better version where he's giving the death bowling finishing. So incredible again. How they've just become better than they were even at that time when we discussed. I think after 2 weeks. So they have really come around. And Chanaka is still nowhere in the picture.
Yeah,
Nobody,
poor guy.
nobody
Yeah.
talks about him. So I
Yeah.
don't know. Pandya also
Would
coming in
love to
form.
hear what Jadi Booty Ashish Nehra is giving them, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
each one of them is playing
I
like a
think
warrior, really.
they're just scared that he might just keep talking and give them more advice. So they just play well so that he's, talks less to them. But he keeps rambling from the sidelines. I see near the fielder. He's always like
Yeah,
talking all the
yeah.
time.
But tactically
So
very sound. Let's,
very sound, very sound.
we
The way he's
acknowledge that. Yeah,
acknowledge that. And
yeah,
they dropped Sai Sudarshan. We discussed him last preview, in the sense he's one of the best batters they have. Number three, very good. And Pandya said, "Chalo, tum hato. मैं करता हूँ number three पे consolidation." And he got an Abhinav Manohar. And Vijay Shankar, as we discussed, पता नहीं कहाँ से, he also got him alive and kicking. So yeah, it'll be a miracle if they lose. It'll always be some very X Factor innings coming out to beat GT going forward. So yeah, coming to the next team. I mean, I do nothing to discuss in terms of the top four. I think there are top two for me, for you also, I guess.
yeah. Top two, definitely.
Top two. So next one coming to X Factor team, Punjab Kings, and just to give a stat, they are 10-10. How they are there, I think that Punjab wouldn't know, and a lot of us also don't know how this team has made it to where they have. Because if you see the charts in terms of best batters, nobody is really there. Dhawan was there at one time, but he got injured. So this team is somehow there hanging in, and we discussed the bowling was very good. I think that's what has kept them in the hunt for this competition. Although they got murdered by Lucknow with that 250 crazy match, and recently against Mumbai also again a 200 match, but they're finding their range. I think Dhawan is back from injury, suffering from a bit of form issues still, but somebody or the other standing up there, and they have this weird template where nobody gets a 50. Everybody gets quick 20s or 30s, and they meet 180, 190, and then the death bowling is so good. It doesn't fire on Dale. Arshdeep, Karan, and Ellis. So Ellis has been
Hmm.
bowling better than Rabada, so they're swapping a bit there. Last match was one of the eye openers for me, where Livingston and Jitesh just hell, modern Mumbai Indians bowlers all over the park. So if Livingston has found his range, this team I can be very, very deadly going forward.
Yeah,
So,
and there'll be hope as as you said, they'll hope that Shikhar and Prapsimran form that combo up front again, right? Shikhar was looking $1 million with that 99 not out, but unfortunately,
yeah,
I think injury came in, and we have to be realistic. Any player who comes back from injury will take some
takes
time
time.
to,
Mm,
become consistent again. So they'll hope that in the next 2 3 games at least both of them come back to form. They'll need to hope Livingston and Jitesh continue
Jitesh.
to go helter and skelter from here. One thing I think they'll be slightly disappointed in is Rahul Chahar, right? Where
Mm.
you have seen all other spinners in teams getting wickets, he's struggling for wickets, and he's not even able
Significance.
to control the runs also. So I think Rahul
Mm.
Chahar has been a slight disappointment for them.
Yeah. I think coming to Jitesh, I just remembered, this battle of Sharmas. So all the Sharmas have woken up this IPL, like Mohit, Ishant, Jitesh. So it's like Sharma ji ke ladke are doing well, except the main Sharma ji ka ladka. So let's hope that happens in due course, because only he's missing out. And he looks very exciting. I mean, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if he gets a chance for India also, because
Hmm.
the number he's batting at and the consistency he's giving versus a Kishan who's getting opening slot and he's so inconsistent. I really think this guy should get a chance. In the meantime, till the time Pant is not there, and see what
Yeah.
he has to offer in
Virender
international cricket.
Sehwag has made a statement, in fact, that he sees Jitesh play for India in the next 1 year.
Even
So
Kevin Peterson also is a big fan of him. So yeah, he's
yeah,
very good. I mean, he has the singles doubles game, he has the power game, and he bats at the very bad number. And always, he's a very consistent batter. So this
right.
team should be fun. I really think it is tough. Knowing Punjab, they might end at six again, but I will still say 50-50. I mean, 10 and 10, right? So they need to win at least
Yeah,
three out of four,
three out of yeah.
four minimum. So
10
that's
in
a
10 or 10 in 10 in 10, right? No, yeah,
hmm,
yeah. So 3 out of 4 then. A little bit
seems difficult.
dicey. A
Yeah,
little
yeah.
bit
But
dicey.
they're fun. I think they'll
Yeah,
spoil a lot of parties and they're fun to watch. I
yeah.
mean, this is much better than the earlier Punjab. I'll still give them that. There's some sort
Correct.
of method to the madness for once.
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Hmm.
And coming to the last team, KKR, which, again, one of those teams which befuddles us in terms of what happened. But, things worked out for them in a very weird way with the injuries. Like, Shakir didn't come, so they got a Jason Roy in. And Jason Roy has been their best batsman by a mile. So he gives them those crazy starts. One match he got injured, Gurbaz came in and he flew off. So now they have two very good openers,
Hmm.
and then they
True.
have a Venki, they have a Rana, and they have a Rinku, who's I think the find of the season. The consistency that guy has, check his record, and he's always there when they're struggling. He's always giving you 30, 40 at least at a good click. So very good five batsmen. You have a Russell below. Uh, I think the problems are more. Uh, I don't know. It's hereditary in a sense. They need to take a call between Narayan and Russell. I think that's one way place where they need to
Yeah.
think about the future,
Yeah,
right?
but I think in a way the KKR management seems indebted to them, right? They have won so many matches for KKR, but
Yeah,
somewhere I think practicality has to come in. Both are not at their best.
yeah. I mean, Russell
Having
still
both hampers
mm,
their team combination. Maybe take one between them.
one.
At some point, you have to take a strong call, right? But I
Correct.
liked one punt that they've taken now. They saw that Umesh Yadav was leaking runs. They saw Saudi and
So
Ferguson were leaking runs, so they bet on Harshit Rana and they bet on Vaibhav Arora, right? And Anukul
mm,
Roy. So these three are doing really, well for them. That is one thing I liked. At least they're backing young Indian talent who are
yeah, yeah.
doing well. Yeah.
Something they did with the Mavi. God knows where Mavi is actually. We completely forgot about him. He's in
He
GT
not
by
played
now.
a
Yeah,
single game, right? If
exactly, and not
yeah.
in impact subs also. So 6 crore bowler. I don't know what Nehraji is doing. Maybe preparing for next year. I have no idea. But you have to trust GT with the way they are going. I really thought
Yeah.
he'll play at 6 crores, right? I don't know why you would buy a backup for 6 crore.
Yeah.
So coming back to KKR, so three paces they have, and I think they need to give Shardul a run. He gets hit, but he has the thing about him. He'll get you a wicket. He'll get you something with the bat. He's definitely a player you want in your 11, and
Yeah.
he's an Indian, right?
Agreed.
So you play him. He's not a foreigner who's eating your slot. So they played David VC in the middle. So he was coming at 8, which would give length to the batting. I think it's worth considering to play Vise for
Mhm.
Narayan because you
Yeah.
have
Even the
Anukul.
one out chance he got, he did really well, right?
He hit
Yeah.
those long
Yeah.
sixes. He didn't get many
Yeah.
balls, but he
Yeah.
hit those long sixes which were required. So if Narayan is not taking wickets, which he's not, and he's not that economical, which he's again not lately, give VC a chance. You have Suyesh, you have Anukul, and Varun is bowling very well. I think Varun is back in that sense. He's bowling
Yeah.
the death overs now because there's nobody else to bowl in the
Yeah.
death. So
This has
he's
been
in
his
30 overs.
comeback year again.
Come back here. So they're good. They're again going to be that spoil sport. It's a bit late for them. They found the combination too late with Gurbaz, Roy, and Dinku has always been there. So I don't think they're going to be in the top four, but they'll definitely. Uh, I mean, it's what 8 and 10, right? So four on the trot. They need to win again. A tough ask in IPL, with all teams nearly level in terms of
Yeah.
competition. So yeah. Final words on KKR for you?
Very tough, very tough.
Very
Each
tough.
game is must win, and as we had said before, also in the previews, this team relies a lot on individual performances, and individual
Yeah.
performances can only help you on certain days, not to win a tournament. So,
Team. Yeah.
yeah, very unlikely. Maybe only a miracle can get them through.
Russell, maybe he
Yeah,
just gets his bearings right, and
yeah,
because the openers are some X factor openers. See, that's the only thing. They have all these X factor players now loaded in the team. Maybe one of them keeps performing every game and they get through. Because the bowling looks a bit better now with the spinners, the Indian pacers. They have something going for them. It's just a bit late, I feel. That's the problem. It's like
yeah,
10 games gone. Because
yeah.
Rana also looks better as a batsman, as a captain. But yeah, tough ask for me. So, yeah, even I'll say the same. Yep, that's pretty
So,
much it.
So this was our halfway stage review for the IPL. Now we are going into the business end of the tournament. Next few weeks we see things getting heated even more, literally heated with all the heat in India right now.
We
But great games coming up. Let's see what more surprises do we have in store. Which teams will now make a strong claim to the playoffs, and which will just peter off from here. Which teams will play party poopers for other
Yeah, that'll
strong
happen.
teams as well. We need to see that. On that note, that's a wrap for part 2 video, and look forward to our upcoming video in the next few days. Till then, take care and bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.